Hello, good afternoon. Welcome back sa partnership and corporate accounting natin. And we are now in our week 14 or lesson 14. And I'm still your instructor, Carmina Dongkayan. Okay? So, our topic for this week is all about the corporate formation and the shareholders equity part 2. Ayan. So, at the end of this lesson, you should be able to, number 1, record the stocks transaction using the memorandum entry method. Okay? Before we start, please have your modules with you and go along with our discussion. Okay? Okay, let's start our discussion. Okay. Corporate formation and the shareholders equity. So, methods of accounting stock. So, we have here, there are two methods of accounting for stock. Number 1, we have here the memorandum entry method, ayan, and the journal entry method. So, number 1, sa memorandum entry method, the authorized share is recorded using memorandum entry only. Ayan, and when the shares are issued, saka lang meron yung credit na i-credit to the title share capital is recorded, saka lang meron yung share capital. Okay, pag journal entry method, the authorized capital is recorded by the debiting unissued share capital and crediting authorized share capital. So, every time shares are issued, ayan, the unissued share capital is decreased by a credit entry. So, let's first discuss the memorandum entry method for this week, okay? So, tingnan natin yung module natin. Let's discuss it in your module, okay? Ayan, illustration na 1. So, par value stock accounting under the memorandum entry method yan. So, we have here the transaction and the entries in the corporation book. So, paano ba siya i-entry? Okay, sa number 1, authorization. So, ang authorized stocks na issue nila is 20 shares of stocks and at par value of 200. Ayan. And sa transaction to issue for a cash, which is 1,500 shares at par value of 200 pesos, di ba? Teka lang. Tignan natin kung tama yung computation niya. So, ayan. So, yung computation niya, yung nag-issue daw si company ng 1,500 shares. So, 1,500 multiply natin ng 200. So, magkano yan? So, 300 yung 300,000. So, 300,000 yung 300 worth 300,000 yung shares. So, ang entry mo dyan is since wala naman siyang sinabi na inutang niya or yes. So, ilagay mo, binayaran niya ng cash which is 300,000 and share capital na 300,000. So, nag-issued for cash ng 1,500 shares at par. Okay? So, yun yung transaction number 2. And the assets, ayan yung analysis niya, assets of the corporation will increase in cash of 300,000 shareholders na teka lang. yung shareholders niya na ayan, yung shareholder niya na 1,000 now. Shareholders equity will increase in contributed capital called share capital at the par value of, ayan, 2,200 pesos times 1,500 shares. Okay? And number 3, let's go to number 3. Ayan, 100 shares were given to Attorney Pacifico for legal services rendered. So, nagbayad sila ng nagbayad sila kay Attorney Pacifico ng 100 shares. So, binigyan nila ng 100 shares si Attorney Pacifico for his legal services rendered. So, ang entry mo dyan is sa debit side, professional fees expense mo. That is considered as expense, which is 20,000 kasi 100 times multiply natin ng i-multiply natin. So, 100 multiply by 200. So, makukuha natin yung 20,000. Okay? So, yan yung computation. Paano natin nakuha yung 20,000? Okay? So, yung analysis dyan is expenses will increase, 20,000 shareholders equity will increase in contributed capital at the par value of, ayan, 20,000 pesos. Sa transaction number 4 naman, issued 3,000 shares for land received from a shareholder value valued at 750. So, 750,000 yung worth ng land niya. Pero, nag-issue lang si company ng 300,000 shares. So, meaning, i-multiply natin yung 3,000 shares, multiply it by 200, makukuha natin yung 600,000. Pero, kasi yung worth ng land is 750,000. That is why, i-debit natin, naka-receive si corporation ng land worth 750,000 and share capital na, yung share capital niya is 600,000 only because 3,000 shares, multiply natin yung sa par value niya na 200. Okay? And may excess siya na less 750,000 and may exceed siya ng 150. So, saan natin ilalagay yung 150? Ilagay natin siya sa share premium. Yan, yung sabi natin siya share premium in excess of the yung sa par value, sa payment natin sa shares, di ba? In excess of the par value, okay? So, issued 3,000 shares in exchange for land, okay? Assets again will increase in land 750, which is a fair market value. And shareholders' equity will increase in contributed capital, okay? Share capital, yung 600,000 and the excess contribution mapupunta siya sa share premium account for 150,000. So, the reason for disclosing separately that premium account is to show clearly the legal cap, what is the yung talagang legal capital na para kay corporation, okay, which is according to the Corporation Code of the Philippines. Okay, is the contributed capital at the par value only. So, wala siyang excess. And as transaction 5, receive 50,000 cash. Ayan, naka-receive siya ng 50,000 cash for a shareholder and from a shareholder and issued 240,000 na shares. So, kung i-multiply natin yan, 240,000 ay 240 shares. Multiply natin ng 200, makukuha natin yung 48,000. So, pero naka-receive si corporation ng 50,000. Meaning, may share premium na naman siya kasi may excess na naman. Okay? So, cash, ang entry mo dyan is cash 50,000 and share capital 48,000 and share premium 2,000. Okay? Issued for cash 240,000 shares at a premium. Okay, analysis, assets will increase in cash, 50,000. Shareholders' equity will increase in contributed capital. So, share capital at 200 times 240 yung 48,000 and yung excess niya is 2,000 in the separate account which is the share premium. Okay? Ayan, sa transaction 1 to 5, describe one movement only, one movement of stocks which is from authorization to yung stock already na nag-issue na diretso sila ng certificate of stock kasi binayaran ng shareholder lahat yung binayaran niya, he paid it in cash. Yan. Ayan, sa transaction na 6 naman, receive subscription for 100 shares at par from a shareholder who paid 50%. So, ang binayaran lang ni shareholder is 50%. So, meaning, 100, i-multiply natin siya sa 200 na par value. Ayan, 20,000 pero 50% lang yung binayaran ni shareholders dito. So, ang entry mo dyan is magkakaroon ka ng subscription receivable. Ayan, so subscription receivable muna until hindi pa nababayaran ni shareholder yung 50%. So, you have here the 20,000 and subscribe share capital. So, hindi yun share capital. Subscribe share capital muna. 20,000. So, ang explanation mo dyan, receive subscription for 100 shares at par value. Okay? And another entry, since may cash ka namang na-receive, ayan, cash, 10,000 and subscription receivable na 10,000 kasi nabawasan yun sa subscription receivable mo, di ba? So, to record 50% collection. Ayan. Assets will increase in subscription receivable of 20,000. Shareholders' equity will increase in contributed capital at par value of 20,000 also. So, since the assets invested is equal to the subscribed capital, there is no premium. Syempre, wala siyang premium. Sakto-sakto lang naman yon. So, note that the contributed capital account use is not a share capital since this account is used only when shares are kapag fully paid siya and therefore nag-i-issue sila ng stock certificate. Okay? And sa transaction 7, balance of the subscription is collected in full. So nagbayad na si shareholders ng another 50%. That is why fully paid na siya. So ang entry mo dyan is makakatanggap ka na ng cash na 10,000 and subscription receive. Iles mo na yun sa subscription receivable mo na 10,000. So and receive in full the balance of subscription. Ayan, mag-i-issue ka na ngayon ng stock certificate or issue the stock certificate to the shareholder. Ayan, subscribe share capital and share capital. So, issued stock certificate for 100 shares. So, this is a follow-up of transaction number 6. Ayan, yung kanina, where the subscription balance is 10,000 and now being paid in full sa transaction number 7. Ayan, so assets will increase in cash and decrease in subscription receivable. So, syempre, yung total assets mo will remain the same since the subscription is fully paid. Okay? So, total shareholders' equity will remain, of course, the same again. And let's go to transaction number 8. Ayan, receive subscription for 250 shares at 220 per share. Ayan. So, receive 50% down payment, balance collectible after 30 days. So, ang subscription mo, so, sabi dito, naka-receive siya ng subscription for 250 shares. Multiply natin ng 220. So, 55,000. Pero binayaran lang niya ng 50% and then it is collectible within 30 days, 'di ba? Subscription receivable, ang entry mo is subscription receivable, subscribe share capital, and subscribe share premium. So, ang subscription receivable mo is 55,000 and subscribe share capital mo 50,000, share premium 50,000. So, receive subscription for 250,000 shares at premium. Okay? Now, nag-cash na siya ng 50,000 which is 27,000 ang i-divide by 2 natin. So, 27,500. So, cash, 50% of 55 is 27,500 and subscription receivable is 27,500. So, receive 50,000 na 50% down payment from subscriber. So, assets will increase in subscription receivable at 220 times, multiply natin ng 250 shares. So, it should be 250 shares of 55,000. So, shareholders' equity will increase in contributed capital. So, subscribe share capital at the par value of, ayan, yung 200 for 250 is 50,000. So, may share premium siya na, sabi ko kanina na, 5,000. Okay? Take note that subscription receivable is 220 times 250 shares, 55. So, shareholders' equity will increase in contributed capital. Subscribe share capital at the par value of, ayan, 50,000 lang yon yung subscribe share capital, and share premium is 55. So, since there is a down payment, ayan, nag-down payment siya ng 50%, yung the subscription amount of 55,000 or the 27,500 with the corresponding decrease in subscription receivable. So, total asset will remain the same as there is only change in the form of asset. Okay? So, ang binayaran lang dito sa transaction is 50%, which is the 27,500. Okay? So, if the balance of the subscription receivable is number 8 is paid in full, ito yung entry mo na. Okay, naka-receive ka na, and then subscribe share capital mo 50,000 and share capital, ayan, nag-issue ka na ng certificate of stock certificate for 250 shares. Ayan. The basis for recording the subscribed share capital is a par amount recorded in the transaction number 8. So, par, yun, dun sa par value pa rin niya, which is 200, diba? So, 200 times 250. O, makukuha natin dyan 50,000. That is why, meron tayong 5,000 na share premium dito sa transaction number 8. Okay? So, to summarize, number 1, we have to ayan, asset contribution may be in the form of cash. Ayan, i-take note natin itong mga to. Following the cost principle, properties must be recorded at its fair market value. Ayan yung kanina, yung fair market value ng ng land na in-acquire kanina na 750,000, or the fair market, ayan, or the of the stock to be issued, whichever is more clearly determinable. Ayan. So, dapat kung ano yung fair market value this time, yun yung gagamitin mo. Yun yung amount na i-declare mo. Okay? Number 3, services must be recorded at its billed price. Ayan. Number 4, share capital and subscribe share capital must be recorded at the par value. Ayan. So, par value ang susundin natin dito. Share capital is credited when a stock certificate is issued. Otherwise, the title should be subscribe share capital. Okay? And number 5, the subscription receivable is recognized at the subscription price, which may be at the par value or above par value. So, number 6, the excess contribution. Ayan, which is the share premium na i-add natin siya additional paid in capital dito sa statement of financial position ng corporation. So, based on the transactions 1 to 8, the statement of financial position will appear as follows. So, ano yung name ng corporation and the statement of financial position as of, ayan. Ano yung date dyan. So, tinotal natin lahat ng cash. Dito, may total siya na 397,000 and subscription na receivable na 27,700 kasi may 50% pa siyang hindi nabayaran, di ba? Nung sa transaction 8. Okay, a total of 425,000. So, sa non-current assets mo naman, may 750,000 na worth na land ka. Okay? So, ang total assets mo is 1,175,000. So, ilas natin yung contributed capital. So, ang paid-in capital mo is 988,000. Doon sa inisyo mo na 4,940 shares. And subscribe shares mo na 50,000 kasi hindi pa natin pwedeng sabihin na share capital yon kasi hindi pa naman nabayaran in full. Okay? So, that is 1,038,000. And additional paid-in capital, sabi natin kanina, ilagay natin dito yung share premium which is 150,000, 67,000 and may retained earnings siya na 20,000. So, a total of 1,175,000. So, pareha, syempre, yung base sa accounting equation natin that assets is equal to liabilities plus shareholders equity. So, parehas yung amount. Okay? So, legal expense is chargeable to accumulated profits or retained earnings. So, that is why ang kukunin natin na legal capital will be 1,038,000. Represented by the contributed capital at par. Note that the subscription receivable is a current asset since it is collectible within 30 days. Diba? Current assets pa rin yan kasi collectible within 30 days. So, if collectible within 1 year, it is presented as non-current asset na siya. Okay? When a subscription is not on call, the proper presentation would be as a contra shareholders equity account. Decreasing the subscribed share capital stock. Ayan. So, that is all about the memorandum entry method. Okay? So, now let's go to your requirements. Ayan, activity 1, case problem. So, may case dito and ang gagawin ninyo is you have to prepare the journal entries of the transaction using the memorandum entry method and prepare statement of financial position for the month ended January 31, 2020. Okay? So, ayan. Sabihin na lang natin na this is pangalan ng company, Creus Company. So, yan transaction from Creus Company. Okay? So, yan lang yung lesson 14 natin and kung may question kayo regarding this lesson or requirements, mag-message lang kayo sa akin sa Messenger and yun lang, that ends our lecture for today and I hope that you learn something. Okay? So, bye-bye and God bless.